A lot of people are just being back home and just seeing their own world. So this is a small attempt to make the break scene a little bit bigger.
My name is Ingvar, from Norway, Kristiansand. I'm a ballet dancer.
A ballet dancer. Cool. This is a question for everybody. Why do you dance breaking?
Dance break.
And not b-boying, breaking. That's not gender.
Because it's more like a warfare. It's no, in the other type of dances. It's like girls showing stuff, boobs and ass. You know, it's all that. In breaking, it's so pure. It's just the moves. You know, you just go there. One b-boy versus another b-boy, of course. B-girls too, but still, I feel it's a masculine thing. I kind of get out aggression.
If you only do palm moves but not using the music, is that breaking?
It depends on how you say it. For me, it's breaking.
I feel it's breaking, of course, man. All of it, like the circus style, all that shit is breaking. Like it started like
a new version of breaking. You know? Because we have the old version and we have the new version. Breaking is always.
Yeah, it's expanding. Yes,
all
and
the time.
this is the forum for it.
Like for example, today there are a lot of breakers that like listen to rock music. Like me, for example, I listen to Prodigy. I don't listen to this like James Brown. So for me, I don't feel it's good to say that this is not breaking, this is not breaking. But you have to like respect it because it's always on the way to change to new stuff. You know. But it always goes back to the basic.
For instance, in Denmark, Mohammed here, he's from a group called Rumble Pack. In Denmark, Denmark is always considered, especially Copenhagen, a big hip-hop community. Are there a lot of dancers in Copenhagen that do breaking, male and female?
Depends on
10, 50,
probably
100?
10, 15 serious dancers.
In all of Copenhagen, a million city.
Depends on how you look at it, but basically there's a lot of people dancing, but many of them are just practicing for casually dance, you know, at dancing schools, whatever. And then for me, I see there's 10, 15 serious dancers that practice hard and battle and so on.
How many girls do you have in Copenhagen that are B-girls? Two?
Probably.
Nook B-boys from Greenland. How did you get in contact with the culture? The same way?
Well, I started 3 years ago when Kenneth Vogel from Flow Dance Academy, he came up to Greenland to teach us. Then I saw the great opportunity for me to start. I don't know how the other boys started, but we had some really old school breakers that started in the mid 80s. They got it from television and they just got inspired from just television.
So it's a similar way all over, right?
Yes.
The Scandinavian style is not one complete style. Denmark has its style, Sweden has a couple of different styles, Norway, Finland and Greenland has different styles. But how do we look? What's different between us and the rest of Europe and for instance Korea, US stuff? What makes us different?
I know that Sweden is a lot of personalities. Like everybody dance, but they still look different from each other. So I think that expresses Sweden. I know that a lot of Swedish dancers express their personality in their dance. That's why not a lot of people look alike in Sweden.
Swiftbrock here, he's been judging a lot of times in Sweden. How do you feel that Scandinavian style is different from the perhaps European or US? Everybody knows Swiftbrock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference between us and the rest of Europe, or perhaps or Germany?
Okay, I can say I don't know actually every crew or every dancer of Sweden, so I can say really if it's like this or not. But when I saw first dancer from Sweden, it was like Throwdown Rocker. It was in the, I think, end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s. And they had different style, you know, but it was combining like little power moves with footworks in a different way. And then at the end we found out that they get inspired by the England guys from King B, London All Stars, and you can see the similarity how they build up the moves and top rocks and stuff. And I still see this, that like the throwdown style is still in the Sweden style. And it's so funny, if I go to America now, they talk about like, you know, Sweden style, you know, like, yeah, they're different, you know, how they dance. You build up a new style from another style, but for me, it came before from England, because they get inspired by the England guys. So you can't say really this is Sweden style, this is Europe style, you know, because first it was maybe England, then went to Sweden, and now it went to Scandinavia, or to whole Scandinavia maybe.
In bigger areas would have more breakers, for instance Stockholm. Do we have any Stockholm guys? Almost, there's 2 from Uppsala. How is the attitude there?
We wouldn't know because we're not from Stockholm.
I know, but you're still living pretty close to Stockholm, Uppsala, and you perhaps are there more than we are.
Perhaps.
So I figured out in Uppsala it's only you guys breaking.
No, there are some others, but they're mostly our students and stuff
Okay.
that we teach. In Stockholm, I think it's mostly been the same dancers for like 5-6 years or so. That's been like the main scene, and it's still like that. Like,
Okay. But do they have a bad attitude to other people, or they're
no,
just,
not really, but they're just
friendly?
confident in their style. So I
They're
think
just confident. Okay.
they're not dissing or whatever, but I think they got their own view of things.
Okay.
It's getting better. Before, I think so anyway, but a few years back, a lot of dancers were trying to be like raw and like, yeah, this is real b-boying, and a lot of like battles.
Okay.
Like
Throwdown attitude.
But now it's more, I think it's getting more like competitions with more just jams. People are just dancing.
They get friendlier.
Yeah, I think, for me.
For you, okay. Biting. Everybody knows when somebody goes like this. So. That's my move! Something like that. Especially from Stockholm, there's a couple of guys that always do like this. What is biting today? Is it one move or a style? If I take, for instance, Mario's dance move, train on it, and then make it as my own, change it a little bit, is that okay?
Maybe they get out of respect, so for me it doesn't matter. If somebody, you know, thinks somebody is...
Did everybody hear my example before that I said to Lamin? For instance, we take this guy, and he is very impressed by another guy.
Yeah.
And he started to dress like him, and just take every step he makes, and starting dancing with those steps in circles. It looks the same in his dance, but it's not the same guy. Is that okay? If Jeff, I think he's a very, very good dancer. If I are so amazed by Jeff, and I almost steal his identity and being here.
You already did.
Yeah, okay, thank you. And starting dressing like him and dancing like him. Is that okay?
Well, then you're missing the point of hip hop, because it's all about your personal style and you know being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not yourself, then you're not hip hop, and then you might as well drop it.
Okay.
No, but of course you fall in love with different people's styles,
Yeah.
and then you have this combination of all their styles, which is then a new style, which would then be yours, if you add your flavor to it.
As long as you explain like, yeah, I got it from them and them, because I get so inspired, then it's also, you know.
That's okay then.
Yeah, that's okay then.
How many people does that? Come and explain.
Maybe not so many, but you know,
Yeah.
because it's like in for Rocksteady, or you know, they got it from others too, you know, and they say like they have it from old school cats, and so, but they want to keep the style and they want to take it to the next generation, you know.
Is breaking acrobatic with dance or dance with acrobatics? What makes a good breaker?
It's a dance.
It's an art form.
It's an art form, yes, but what? In what way? Painting?
No,
Sitting on the
you
toilet?
represent hip hop by getting down on the floor no matter what you do.
What do we use to get down on the floor?
Music.
You use the music.
You use the music, and
But-
by using the music,
but-
what is it then?
But if the beat doesn't fit you, if you don't like it, then you have another option to do power moves, which also belongs to breaking. So, you know, a complete b-boy has to have power move, blow ups, freezes, and be able to dance to the music as well.
I think it started as a circle thing, and it's still a circle thing, like show off thing. So I think you should be allowed to impress in other ways than only dancing. But there's not an answer, because you can't say what's right.
What I really like about breaking is like you can do your own shit, you know. You can do what you want. It's free. It's not like ballet, like do that and like hold this like straight and like have to be like, you know what I think? So like do your own shit. Power is super. Like do power, the only power you want to. Like do what you really love, what you really like feel to. Of course, dancing, all that shit. It's a big. I feel that I'm not so much power with myself, but people who just does power, you know, it's wrong to like say, that's not people, all that stuff. You know, let it do what he wants to. You know, breaking started like, okay, like old school, you know, all that fresh stuff, and like developing in different ways, you know, that's beautiful breaking, you know.
Today we have like people have this shit in their eyes,
You know, people are going like, that's not breaking, dude. I shut up, man, let me talk. You know, people are going like, that's not breaking, dude, that's not, you know, that's wrong. I feel it's wrong, you know, when people come and take like back that here and one. It's still breaking, it's still starting from there and developing, you know. It's cool, like think of it, so many styles now, so many things, so many different styles. It's like, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, but I will phrase my question. What makes it breaking and not just acrobatics?
The music.
There is a difference.
Okay,
If you can do all these things and jump on one hand and do all this guy, what makes it different from acrobatics unto breaking? I mean, breaking is an open forum, yes, like you say. But what makes it different from just be standing on the street, just doing all these flips and stuff like that you talk about? And what makes it different from doing that and do it on a floor with breakers? What does it make breaking?
First, the music. Second, no matter how breaking develop, it always go back to basic. You always see, let's say this guy takes his leg around his neck like 20 times, but you always see maybe a little bit of baby freeze inside it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see maybe some shit that are like from the real old school. So that's the way you consider, okay, this is breaking and this is acrobatic.
Power move, when you do it to the beat, using the beat with power moves, like for instance our good friend Elias does, that's okay to me. It is. He can do whatever he like, put his foot up his ass and jump on one hand. I don't care, as long as do it to the beat. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, but it's
Then-
not always.
so, but we all got back, breaking is that we use our body to the music, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That's
It doesn't-
true. Absolutely.
That's not breaking, that's dancing. What makes breaking is the foundation of it. It's the same like in ice skating, for instance. And people, b-boys think that this problem is like within b-boying only, but they have the same problem like in gymnastics or ice skating or skating or wherever. There's always the old generation that keeps it their way, and always the new kids that want to evolve it to something else. And this problem is like in every sport you can find. And people just need to understand that you have different views of things. As long as if you got the foundation, then you can call yourself a breaker. But you have to do your own thing. So if you take a move and evolve the thing you do to something else, but you've got the foundation, you're still a breaker, but you're doing your own thing. So if you're an ice skater or a breaker, whatever, man, it's just you need to let things evolve.
Did everybody understand that and hear it? Somebody against that? No? How about judging? That's a big question. How about the breakers not giving the judges as much respect that they should have? I've been in some competition where I've been judging where the B-boys and B-girls, or perhaps more the B-boys, have been very, very angry at the decision that the judges made, and didn't want to hear what the judges said, just being in the face, like that. Is that okay?
Like if you go to a battle with a judge, you should expect to be judged, even if you feel it's not fair. But because there is no ultimate judge. Like
No, I know. There
is no. So
ultimate
you should
judges,
just
no.
expect that it could be
Yeah, to respect the judges.
could be
Yeah?
felt unfair.
For me and for a whole lot of b-boys, I know that when I go to a competition, a battle, I know who's gonna judge it. Because it's always, nowadays we have internet. And on the internet it always says, okay, these three are judges. So I know from the beginning, like, just like you said, I know how I'm gonna be judged. So my job in a competition is like, I'm gonna prove to these judges, no matter what their styles are, that I'm the shit. That's my mentality when I go to a battle. And that is the same when I go into a cypher battle. I'm gonna convince every b-boy that stands in the front row that I am the shit.
Now we come to the thing with judging, getting people from Korea and from France and from Australia or whatever, South Pole, I don't know. Come to the other problem, money. To make a jam, or like this, a free jam, outdoors, costs a lot of money. But if, for instance, a former pupil of mine, he made a real good jam back in his hometown. Lamin was one of the judges, and but there didn't come any people, and the people who came there, why should I pay? I'm a breaker, let me in, man. I'm gonna dance here. Is it okay to take money from, for instance, those people who are gonna enter the competition?
No.
No? Why?
Why pay to battle?
Okay.
No,
Do you want to have a prize money thing? Do you want to win money, or do you just want a DVD?
Of course, there's a prize money.
Who's going to pay for that prize money?
The sponsors.
Who's sponsored? Do you know how many
Sponsors
sponsors
you
we
get
got
to
in
the
hip
jam?
hop? Mario, you have problems to RB to get. Don't talk about it. Okay. The breakers are street kids. They don't have any money. That's why they try to get in by the back door. Hey, get in. We pay for one. You get back. You open the door, and everybody runs in. I heard a story about Battle of the Air. Some French guys also, but.
You're a real gangster.
Yeah, real gangsters. And I've done it myself, sneaking to the cinema and stuff like that. But that was before. Now we have a culture, and people, for instance, like me, Mario, Swift, and we're trying to make it as good as we can do. But we have to try to get sponsors. But for instance, a jam with 500 people, is it fair to take 100 crowns for each month? No?
How much is it in euros?
That's 10 euro. Is it fair to take the 100 crowns from people?
No, it's too much.
Is that too much?
If I pay $100,
No,
then I want
$100
more.
Is a lot of money. That's
No,
like
but if I pay
700
that
Swiss.
much, then I want something else than just battling. You know, I want
prize
to
money.
leave the jam happy.
Okay, but if we get a good
Then you have to
DJ
dance
from
all night.
Australia, we pay him
You have to dance all night.
$10,000
Like-
and fly him and give him first class hotel, and he rocks the turntables. Aren't you happy then?
Yeah, I am, but sometimes when you go to some jams, there are no open floors, there are nothing. You know, you pay your trip, you pay the entrance, you go in there, you battle, and then it's over, then you have to go home.
So you want more open floor?
I want more, you know, I want to have...
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
I don't feel that the dancers should pay to get in because they are like performing. Without the dancers, there's no competition.
I understand that. I understand. My wife rides horses, and every time she can enter, it costs her like 300-400 crowns to enter the competition. She pay the travel by herself. Perhaps half through Skåne. It takes perhaps 500 crowns to get back and forth with the trailer and everything. And she's in the court like 2 minutes, and then it's over. Then we pay like around 1,000 crowns just for her to get to that event and back. And she does that, yeah, a lot. So And every sport or dance that you get, everybody, every dancer, skater, whatever, they pay their own trip, they pay the entrance fee, they compete, and they get a little, what you call a cup, no money, and then they go home, happy. But in breaking, we have this, everybody get in free. I want big money to win, or else I won't come. I feel that's a big problem in the breaking mind.
But then,
Yeah?
if you take, I think if you take a lot of money to come in,
Yeah?
and it costs a lot to travel,
Yeah?
then the only people who will come, if it costs like 300 or 200 to come in, only the people who will come is the one who have genuine interest in coming. So maybe yesterday a lot of kids or youth or whatever came there and just saw breaking for the first time or the third time or whatever, because it was free. But if you have like a high price to get in, and then and long travel, like you say, your wife, then it's only the one who competes who goes there, and then you have an elite, you know. I think breaking should be for everyone.
My wife is far from elite in
No, but she used a lot of time and money on this.
Yes, she does.
So if you do that with breaking, it costs like 300 krones to get in, then
I think the problem is about the events and the breaking, because for me, breaking used to be a street dance. So we used to have jams outside. We used to have clubs where we pay 20 or 30 kroner, and we'd be there with open floors, and we'd be breaking the whole Sunday afternoon. All these disappeared, and now it's only the jams, the battles. So of course, there is a crise. Everybody will still want to pay the 30 kroner or the 20 kroner to go to the Sunday and have open floors, but there it doesn't exist. And they want at the same time to have the battle, they want to have the event, they want to have people traveling, but we don't have anymore what was the ground of the culture. A street corner, a Sunday club, where we can listen to good music, where the DJ can train. We don't have anymore. We just let it die and disappear. And of course, now we are in a new phase. What are we going to do about that?
When they go out on a Saturday night or Friday night, they're in a club, you know, normal people came there to pay to dance. And then the b-boys always start to top rock it. You know, that's fucked up, serious. For the normal people, it's like, oh, hey, you step on my feet or you hit me, you know, and try to dance in the normal way. Like, you know, you don't always have to break. Why? Why you always want to show, yeah, I'm a b-boy, I'm gonna do my thing? Why? Yeah, serious. You love it, but you know, the people are like, oh, come on, man.
yeah, I understand.
You have to know. When you're in the club, you know, you just chill. You can't do always your stuff. You can't. You know, just dance on the music normal way. You know, just bounce, whatever. If you feel the music, if you are a dancer, you can bounce. You don't have to do your.
But like 99% of the times I'm dancing, I like to b-boy.
Yeah.
So why should I care about the other people when they don't care about me in a club?
There is another problem for me. It's where does normal people see breaking? Only in one video, after 20 girls shaking their ass, 2 guys with guns, and one guy with 10 million sitting in the big car. So when you go in the street and walk and you say, I'm a breaker, you go like, oh shit. Do we want to have that picture? Or do we want to also say what kind of people we are? That's why those small jams are a possibility for people to see us. Having a moment in the street, training, having fun. We just can play music and sit down and just shake, just enjoy. To make people understand we are normal people. Because when you put your clothes and you've been at training sweating and you go back home with your bag, it's not strange that you have a police car just go. And you know why? Because nobody of us is spending time to show what we think. So some other people making a lot of money with the videos, they're deciding what we are. And they're selling and making money on us. And we're complaining for paying the entrance because we don't make money. And we're not able to show who we are. That's why I spend 7 months of my life going out making street shows instead of making 20,000 in a theater and being locked in like many other dancers. I mean, I have jobs wherever I go. I can work in France, I can work in Germany, I can work everywhere. But I'm still thinking about my kids. When they're gonna put the clothes into my daddy's a breaker and they're gonna just in the box. That's not fun. And I can tell you, I've been in France and I've been controlled from when I was 11. I was 11 with my bag, go training, and the police stopped me. Put their hands on the car. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'm 40, they still do the same thing. You have a Swedish car, you speak French. Because we don't do all together something about it. Everybody's thinking about the prize money, but you're gonna earn the prize money, and when you're walking in the street, they're gonna see you with the money, they're gonna just put you straight in jail, they're gonna say you've been selling drugs. So I think we just have to think just a little bit. That's why I put one question about the street and about the jams, because we are seeing the problem in another way. We have all the same glasses and we look only this direction. And we don't see the problems that comes behind us, that locks all of us in the same box. That's something I wanted people to think about.
Very, very good point from Mr. Fax. We don't have a lot more time. So if you have any questions among yourself or changing phone numbers to make this culture bigger, not smaller. This culture died in the late 80s. Died. I was standing where I trained taekwondo, trained by myself. All the Danish stopped. Kenneth Fogel, he was doing the hammer dance, and Sten, he was doing something else. And nobody in Norway, Finland, or Stockholm, there was only throwdown in a basement that nobody knew of. Rocksteady, they retired. Nobody. So I felt like the last breaker on earth. And to see this growing like this is very, very strong feeling for this. It grows like this. But instead of like this, we stay together. Yeah, we have our differences. But of course, we're people. I don't think the same as Lamin. I don't even believe that some of the moves he does is breaking. I love him. We don't have more time, so thank you everybody.